My name is Saulin Vito from ICT and I am from session 132. Today I will present about my game, brief explanation of my game logic and how I made it. So the name of my game is Epic Car Race. It is endless duty car driving game on off-road. And I got an inspiration from a lot of childhood games which were so attractive to me until now. In my game, the player have to drive a tuk-tuk to get a taste of Southeast Asia. There are two directions, forward and backward, that the player have to control, and that the road is like an off-road. Player have to drive carefully, not to be vehicle flipped, and then the player have to take care of the fuel of the vehicle. Because the fuel tank only on every 200 meters, so the driver can drive very slowly. If the player do like that, he will run out of fuel, so player have to adjust between driving carefully, slowly, or runs fast to collect next fuel tank. This is an endless game. There is no win condition, but it will be more difficult if player drives more far and far. But there is two lose condition. Fuel runs out, the first scenario, and then the driver dies while the vehicle flipped. This is the second scenario. And then the next feature is the nitrogen tank on the road. If the player collects nitrogen tank on the road, car will more do it faster, so he can reach long distance faster and to the fuel tank more faster. But player have to drive carefully not to be flipped. So let's look at game. Let's play a game. Before playing a game, I want to talk about one thing. I found on Google like many game assets like this game type. Like for example, a very popular one, Hill Climb Racing. But I didn't use these assets mostly. I just use only like a driver body, driver head. That's it. The other things are created and searched by myself. For example, Tuk Tuk. I search on Google and then PNG format, and I cut off the wheels and then something like that, and then I also search sound effects and background like that. So let's start the game. When the player clear starts, he can start driving, and then you can see the distance of the driving, and then the fuel meter. The fuel runs out real time, and then so the player have to drive the very carefully not to be flipped, but he have to also take care about the fuel, because the fuel tank will only be on every 200 meters. So this is the nitrogen tank, and then if he collects the nitrogen, the tuk-tuk will do it faster. But don't forget to drive carefully. The chance is more higher to flip when the vehicle is faster. And then we have next nitrogen tank. So we have a lot of challenges to drive carefully and between like not to run out of fuel. Now we have a problem, so we are almost out of fuel. Next fuel tank will be on 400 meter. Oh, almost. So this is the first scenario for loose condition. The next loose condition is like vehicle flipped. Let's play a game again. So if the player very fast, drive very fast, and then flip, oh, here's the game over. So the main challenge is to adjust between drive carefully and to drive fast to get to the next fuel tank. So nitrogen features will help to reach faster to the next fuel tank, but the one downside of the nitrogen tank is the vehicle is more faster and there is a more chance to flip. So this is the main game logic. At this step, the game is a little bit quite easy because the terrain, the ground is just not very rough, just a smooth one, but the driver can drive more further and further. The ground will more rough and the game will be more difficult. So let's play again a game. So this time I will play as far as I can. So this game is, I think, a future proof. So we can add the more car. So this is the tuk tuk, and then you can add a car and then many other vehicles. So by doing so, there's a different game logic. So if the vehicle is big, um, you can go some rough nuts very easily, but some small vehicles is a very difficult. It will be more difficult to drive on the off-road, something like that, and then we can add the more features like flip boost, if we call it the flip boost, so the vehicle flipping rate is more faster, something like that. So we can add more and more game mechanisms in future. Oh. Oh. Firstly, I had an idea to save the previous game record and show in the next game. So the next time we can compare with the record with the previous one, something like that. But I didn't able to make it. This is the one of my difficulty when I upload this game. So I didn't able to add this feature. So the another difficulty is I only found a few tutorials video or code references for this game type to get the reference to download the game. I only found only one quality tutorial for this game type, and it's only for 10 minutes and does not cover for all game logic that I put in my this project. That covers only for some basic stuff like car moving and then some physics, explain about the some physics components like the tire friction or something like that. So I have to learn by myself and develop this game, learn and develop myself almost like 70%. And then another challenge is the endless ground generation. It's the main challenge, I think. Launch is not fixed because I want to do the endless game, so I have to research and learn to do endless generation by ground segment and segment. So I have to learn about to detect the car locations and to generate the new ground segment when the car position reach to where, something like that. And then I have challenged to adjust the ground roughness and the fuel tank location to get the realistic gameplay, not too hard, not too easy like that. So I'm playing my games again and again and adjust it to solve that challenge. And then when I change the vehicle to the tuk tuk to be more creative and to get the taste of the Southeast Asia, so I have to search for the tuk tuk in the PNG format to be usable in 2D versions, and then cut off the wheel because I have to attach tuk tuk body with the wheel in the Unity with the friction and then many other physics components. So I have to search from the Google and then cut off the wheel in the Photoshop. Tuk tuk, and then tuk tuk have a roof, so that's become the one of the problem in my game logic, because when the driver hit with his head when the vehicle is flipped, he die. So that's my game logic. But the tuk tuk have the roof, and then it cover the driver head. So in the game script I wrote, when the driver head is hit to the ground, the game is over. But the tuk-tuk roof is covered do the driver head. So I need to learn about the 2D vehicle, car, polygon collider 2D, and the edit collider, and then in detail and adjust the edge manually, uh, like that, not to cover to the driver head. So these are the few challenges that I had to solve by learning new things for Unity from many online courses and documentations. I want to rate myself 7 out of 10 because without quality tutorial courses or co-references for this project, and I did it by learning and doing it myself for most of the game logic and features, almost 80% I think. So that's why I want to rate 7 out of 10 to myself. So that's all about my today game presentation. Thank you for your attention.